You felt it before. That sudden silence. The texts that stop. The calls that never come. One day they're laughing with you, telling you you're amazing, and the next, it's like you never existed. You replay every moment. Was it something you said? Something you didn't say? You check their story, they're still posting. They're still alive, just gone from your world. It's called ghosting, but it's more than disappearing acts or unread messages. It's a psychological defense mechanism, one that reveals deep truths about fear, guilt, and emotional immaturity. Because the truth is, when someone ghosts you, it's not about you at all. It's about what they can't face within themselves. Today, we're diving deep into the real reason people ghost, the hidden psychology behind it, and how to reclaim your peace when it happens to you. When someone ghosts, most people assume it's because they lost interest. But psychologically, ghosting is rooted in avoidance. For many, conflict equals danger. They were never taught how to handle emotional discomfort. So when things start to get real, their brain activates flight mode. It's easier to vanish than to say, I don't know what I'm feeling. It's easier to disappear than to face the guilt of hurting someone they once cared about. This is especially true for people with avoidant attachment styles. They crave closeness but fear dependency. So, when emotions deepen, their instincts tell them to pull away. Ghosting becomes their coping mechanism, not to hurt you, but to protect themselves from emotional exposure. Ghosting says nothing about your worth. It says everything about their ability to communicate. People ghost because confrontation terrifies them, because they can't articulate feelings of guilt, confusion, or disinterest without feeling like the villain. So instead of owning their emotions, they erase the situation entirely. Psychologically, this is called emotional projection. They avoid you because you remind them of the emotional honesty they don't have within themselves. You become the mirror they can't look into. So when they leave without closure, it's not that you weren't enough, it's that they weren't capable. Here's the secret truth. Most people who ghost feel guilt, even if they never show it. Guilt manifests as silence. They justify it to themselves. It's easier this way. They rationalize. They'll move on faster. But underneath it, their nervous system is reacting to shame. Ghosting is an act of self-preservation wrapped in cowardice. And the reason it hurts so much isn't just because they left. It's because your brain is wired to seek closure. When something ends abruptly, your mind keeps spinning the story, searching for a reason. It's called cognitive dissonance, the mental discomfort of holding two opposing beliefs. They cared about me, and they disappeared. You can't reconcile it, so your brain keeps looping, hoping for a text, a sign, anything to make it make sense. But the closure you're searching for isn't coming from them. It's something you have to create for yourself. Being ghosted often awakens hidden wounds. Maybe it reminds you of feeling invisible as a child. Maybe it triggers your fear of not being enough. But this pain can also be your teacher. Ghosting forces you to face a truth most people avoid, that you can't control someone else's emotional maturity. You can only control how much you internalize their absence. When you stop chasing closure and start understanding your value isn't tied to someone else's communication skills, you reclaim your power. Because silence from them can be the start of peace for you. So how do you heal after being ghosted? 1. Don't fill the silence with self-blame. Their disappearance isn't evidence of your flaws. It's evidence of their emotional limits. 2. Resist the urge to re-engage. The more you try to make them explain, the more power you give away. Ghosting is a form of control, silence as dominance. When you stop responding, you end the cycle. 3. Grieve the illusion. You're not grieving the person. You're grieving the potential you thought was there. Allow yourself to mourn that honestly. 4. Rebuild trust, but with yourself first. The real healing begins when you trust that you can survive rejection and still remain whole. When you can look at ghosting and feel calm instead of angry. That's when you know you've grown past it. Here's the paradox. The person who ghosted you may have given you a gift, a painful one, but a gift nonetheless. They revealed your emotional capacity, your ability to care, to be present, to want real connection. And they revealed their own emotional ceiling. Ghosting closes a door you were never meant to walk through anyway. Because someone who disappears instead of communicating doesn't belong in the next chapter of your story. So when someone ghosts you, remember, they didn't leave because you weren't worth the truth. They left because the truth scared them. If you've ever been ghosted, let this be your reminder. Silence isn't rejection. It's redirection. You were never meant to chase the kind of love that runs from honesty. You were meant to attract the kind that stays when it's uncomfortable, the kind that communicates, even when it's hard. So don't wait for closure. Be the closure. And the next time someone disappears, let them. You'll still be here, grounded, wiser, and finally free.